And I made these stairs to
So
go
you,
down.
you mean a contractor did all this, right?
No, I actually did it. I actually wheelbarrowed all of these out here. Hi guys, this is Patty from Flower and Flower, and tonight I'm going to show you my moon garden, and I'm over the moon for my moon garden. So it's taken me a long time to get this together because it's been a ton of work. I've had to put in a lot of hardscape and a lot of flowers, and mostly, usually a moon garden, if you're not familiar with it, is a garden that you can enjoy when it's nighttime, because you plant mostly white or silver foliage, things that will show up under the glow of the moon. And I've kind of broken the rules a little bit because I had so much foliage that was already here that was purple. So I kind of went the white, purple, silver route for the most part. I broke a few rules here and there, but that's mainly what I did. Right here, this is actually a white daisy. Now they're pretty spent right now, but they're about to bloom out again. And then I have a white rose bush, and these plants right here, those are the status. Those were all here. Every status that you see was already here, so that's why I decided to leave them. And this is called yerba mansa, and there's no flowers on it yet, but it will this plant actually grows on a rhizome above the ground, and so you can see that they will create new plants, and it'll keep rooting down into the ground and create new shrubs for you along the way. But it'll cover the ground really well. It makes a really good ground cover. So this is all white lantana that I started from a little 6-pack or a flat, and it just really spreads profuse, and it just flowers quite a bit. And it's kind of going down the hill here. Then I planted a few succulents here, and this one right here, it's called Queen of the Night, and one of my friends gave me this, and it's just a massive plant, and it grows like crazy. But what it'll do is it will produce these beautiful, I don't have any on here right now, but beautiful white flowers that only bloom at night, and they only bloom once, but you'll get multiple blooms off of one plant, so you'll be able to enjoy it more than one day out of the year. But it dies after one bloom. This is a candelabra succulent, and this one actually brings out some bright orange spikes, which is breaking the rule, but for the most part it doesn't really bloom that often, so I allowed it. Here's another one of the Queen of the Night succulents, and you can see these are going to eventually be a bunch of flowers here. They send out spikes, and then they grow the flowers on that. And then over here we put in a fire pit, and we did this stamped patio. This garden we started probably about 2 years ago, and my husband built these benches for it. This is just made out of cinder block and
4x4.
4x4s, and they've weathered already. I'm gonna have to give them another coat of paint and sand those benches down, but it makes a really nice little seating area out here. Over here is my Dusty Miller, and this plant just is spreading like crazy. I had another one around the corner here that the gopher took out, but I let this go to seed, and it actually started to grow little tiny plants all over the place. This one is my angel wing plant. I think it's just beautiful. It's silver, foliage. I haven't, it doesn't actually flower. And then this is my white guava tree, and I actually did get some white guava off of it, and it was delicious. My other tree here, I'm not really sure what this is. I did not plant this, but I'm planting these together so that they'll kind of form an arch here. And this does also blossom with white flowers. It's really awesome. Out here on this area, I just kind of cleared a path and covered it with black mulch. And I have an avocado tree over here to my left. And this already has a lot of Haas avocados growing. This tree, I have several avocado trees, so I thought, well, why not? And then over here, I have the white bird of paradise. It's giant, white bird of paradise. And we're gonna have some blossoms. It looks like it's gonna bloom. So these are gonna get longer and taller, and then they're gonna open up with white flowers, not orange. And then over here, I have my calla lilies. I have several bunches of them. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 out here. And these are really awesome. I love these. I need to trim it a little bit, but these actually I transplanted from underneath an avocado tree, and I didn't know if they would survive because they were under a lot of shade, but they seem to really be thriving here. This plant right here is an Australian tea tree, and this one is going to be a bush, and it will be covered with these white flowers, which I thought was a kind of a nice texture. So now in this area that's cleared out, I haven't decided what I'm going to do here. I might put a evergreen tree in here and just kind of do a round garden around it. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do yet, but I also have these 2 flower beds here that I've been attacked by gophers, so I don't have that much in here, but this is an iris that will have big purple bearded iris. It's gorgeous. And I have 2 Rose of Sharon bushes. This plant I think is gorgeous. I've just cut it back so it doesn't look its best, but the underleaf is silver white and the top is green. And this is sage. It's a type of sage, and it's just amazing. And I love the sage. It has it smells really fragrant. And I think it's just a beautiful plant. I actually cut it and put it in a flower arrangement, and it held up really nice, and it was striking with the white calla lilies actually. So this is this plant right here is the papyrus king tut grass, and if you do plant king tut grass, it's very, very robust, and it'll get big fast. So you have to make sure you have a good space for it. This, can't remember the name of that. Okay, and then so this is a beautiful white flower. It kind of reminds me of baby's breath, and it is it's just kind of a nice frilly look next to my fox tail over here, which I love the green color. It's kind of hidden, so I might transplant it. It needs to be more visible. And then so over here we have more of the status growing, and this is all natural. It is just naturalized here, and more of the Dusty Miller. So this was a 4-inch pot, and when I planted it 2 years ago, and it's just grown enormous. And there's a ton of little puppies under there because, like I said, it flowered, and then we got a bunch of little propagated, bunch of little plants. So then up here I have more of the lantana. I kind of mirrored, tried to do the same thing on both sides. So this is a white rose bush, more of the Shasta daisies, which when they bloom, they're just spectacular. And then over here I planted some gazanias. These are white with a really nice middle color of blue, and they're really easy to grow, and they just look great. Now this is a white Cosmo, and I thought Cosmos for the moon garden was perfect, so I put those in. And these are a little bit of a cheat because they're light pink, but these are the Mexican primrose, and they also grow on a rhizome. And when you plant them, be prepared because they will spread, and they will spread underground and then come up everywhere. So you might not want these if you don't have a large area, but for me, I need a lot of ground cover because I have tons of space. So now, one thing that may differentiate my moon garden from other people's moon garden is this amazing telescope that is my husband's. It's a 12-inch Dobsonian telescope, and we actually will be putting some pictures up on the screen to show you the shots he's gotten. He's got a camera on this, so we like to have star parties, and we invite people over, and we'll look at stars and different constellations and galaxies with this telescope here. And then down this path we have these were lily of the valley, and these were bulbs that I planted. Now they're pretty much spent, but they're just adorable. They're little white flowers, little delicate white flowers with little green dots going all the way around. And I had these actually came up before the white Mexican primrose came up, and it was really beautiful. They just kind of lined all the way down. And then here I have my my moon trellis that my husband built for me out of
EMT conduit.
And we planted white roses all over it, and I've also planted other things too. Like I have a white wisteria. This is the first year for that, and it's already taken off quite nicely. We had some blossoms, but it's already spent.
How old are these?
So these white roses are only 2 years old. These were one of the first things that I planted when I put when I started this garden. Okay, and so on this little trellis here, last year I planted a clematis, and it has really beautiful large purple flowers, and I thought I killed it, but it's coming back, and it's grabbing onto this little wire fence I have. The reason why you want the clematis, they need to have a thin wire to grow on, so it won't actually attach to the thicker wire, the thicker metal there. So that's why I have this in front of it, and we'll see how it comes out. Maybe I'll get some flowers and take a picture of it later on. And then I also have another vine that I'm growing up here, and this is a honeysuckle, and that's going to be just another layer of plant material on this big hoop structure. I have another avocado tree to my right, which is interesting because this one I thought was actually dead. You can see the original stump here, and it pulled out, it just shot out new shoots, and it's been blossoming. We haven't gotten any fruit off of it yet, but it looks like it's trying to rebound, so that's kind of exciting. And anyway, so we come down here, and this is just another shot of what I've already shown you through here. And then the purple hibiscus, beautiful. This thing also grew quite rapidly. And then I have the Proven Winners Supertunia Snowdrift. And this was one plant that just grew. And there's other stuff trying to come up inside of here that I need to clean out. And in our zone, they're actually perennials, and they did not die off in the winter. They kept going, and so it's been awesome. I've had this little bunch here all for a whole year. So now this is an extension of the moon garden, and I've kind of started to introduce other colors into this part. And you come up the stairs here, and it's a lot of work, and then we put in this patio, my son and my husband and I, the plan here, not quite sure yet, but we have a lot of ideas. But this furniture is, you know, just something somebody gave me, and I've just put it out here, but it's going to be painted and changed. We planted a lot of, native plants down here in this circle, and these are actually doing really well. This one right here, this is a Magic Mona Purple Plectranthus, and when this is in bloom, it's gorgeous, and they have really tall purple spikes, and they're just covered with flowers. They're just really pretty. And this right here is my elephant ear plant that my daughter-in-law gave me some bulbs to plant, and I planted them, and they were coming up, and they're looking pretty solid there. And so over here we have this trellis that my husband just built me, and my plan is to have maybe about 3 of them here, so that I can have like a privacy screen here, so that when you're sitting, you're having a glass of wine or what have you, you're not, all the neighbors aren't looking at you. And on this side I have the kangaroo paw plants in red and yellow, and there's nothing in between right now. Gonna wait and see how they look in next year and see how much more filler I need. But these actually will get really large. They've only been in the ground for about 6 months, I would say, not very long. And then this is kind of a unique hibiscus. The foliage of it is what attracted me, but when it blooms, the flowers are almost the same color as the leaves, and they're just red, but it grows kind of in a pillar, and so I put one on each side, flanking the stairway, and I think it's going to look really nice once it's mature. And then up here, I built another wall, and there's a 2 tiers here. So that one I used natural wood from a tree that had fallen down a couple years ago, and I planted, that's a fig tree. Let me go up there. This is a copperleaf tree, and I have one on my upper garden, and I just took a branch actually and just stuck it in the ground, and it just rooted in, and it's flushing out a lot of growth. So that's a cheap way to fill up your garden, is if you can just propagate things. This is a transplant. I had this in a pot, and it wasn't doing very well on my back patio, and so I decided to put it in the ground, and it's actually looks like it's happy. So that's fig. And then another copper leaf, that was a transplant from just a stick. And then this one, my white trumpet tree, and this one is a this one I also just put a stick in the ground from my other plant, and this grew extremely fast. This is about a year, and it really loves it in this location, I think because it's getting dappled sun. But this will have, these pods produce really pretty white upside down trumpets, and they look really beautiful when it's in bloom. This is a type of salvia that I planted, and it blooms a little red flower, a little red and white flower, You can't see the white too much. And then a white flower when it's in bloom. Right now it's not blooming, but there's 3 different varieties of flower on one plant, and this thing can get huge actually. Yeah, so this could actually fill out the whole garden. I planted more gazanias here. You can't see them because they close up at night, but in the daytime, when the sun's on them, they're nice and bright and white. Well, they're not white, but they're peach and pink. They're really pretty.
And this is how many flats?
2, because I bought 1 flat of this variety and 1 flat of this variety, and I mixed them up. Yeah.
How old are these?
6 months. Yeah, I'd say about 6 months. And then I also am creating a pathway out the back gate there. A lot of work that needs to be done on that, but we're making good progress. So anyways, that's the tour of my moon garden. I hope you enjoyed it.